Hey everybody, welcome to the Delivery Driver Pit Stop. My name is Michael, I'm your host. I hope everybody's having a great Friday, TGIF. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of my video, I just wanted to clarify something. A couple days ago, I made a video about fear-mongering and other creators and their guest speakers that are rambling on for 20 minutes that are supposedly experts in the field, former employees that say absolutely nothing for 20 minutes. It's painful to listen to. I was referring to them when I was saying if you don't like it, go elsewhere. I was not referring to dashers as whiners and complainers, okay, because I'm a dasher myself. So just wanted to clarify that, because once I rewatched the video, it appears that I was calling some of DoorDash drivers whiners and crybabies, and not crybabies. And it wasn't that. So if you took offense to it, I'm going to apologize. It was not referring to DoorDash drivers or any other drivers. I was referring to these creators and their guest speakers. Anyway, with that being said, I wanted to talk about a very important subject that might have affected drivers, not only Amazon Flex drivers, DoorDash drivers, Postmates drivers, Grubhub drivers, Uber drivers, and that's delivering to customers that are abusive and irate. This actually has happened a few times over the years for me. A couple nights ago, it happened to me again while I was delivering for Amazon Flex, and this was a pretty confrontational one. So basically, with Amazon Flex, now, like I said, I'm only talking about Amazon Flex right now, but this refers to Grubhub drivers and the rest. Amazon Flex, as it gets closer and closer to the holidays, to the Christmas, we will deliver, believe it or not, we'll have some, at least last year, delivering till 11 o'clock at night to try to get all these packages out. Right now, it's 9 o'clock at night. Anything after 9 o'clock, the app shuts you out, says go back to the warehouse. Amazon Flex, or Amazon's rule of thumb is, if you're going to knock on the door, make sure it's between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. If it's after 8 p.m. and you're delivering, like between 8 and 9, don't knock on the door. Just deliver the package to the door and take a picture of it. And, makes sense. You got to be careful. You don't want to knock on someone's door late at night that's not expecting you, and you accidentally, get shot, or you scare somebody. You don't want that. With that being said, so I was delivering to a retirement mobile home park locally here. Excuse me. And it was about 6:30. And what I'll do, my rule of thumb is when I'm delivering, when it's dark, 6:30, 6:30, I'll see if the lights are on in the house. If the lights are on in the house, I'll knock on the door or ring the doorbell, unless it explicitly says don't ring the doorbell, don't knock on the door, baby's sleeping, or it says it in the delivery instructions not to. And I knock on the door, everybody ring, and it's amazing how many people are absolutely thrilled that I knocked on the door or rung the doorbell to hand them their package. For you new Flex drivers out there, I highly suggest you do it. A lot of drivers, unfortunately, will not do it, and they just set the package. So, I've gone up to porches where there's 3 or 4 packages just sitting there piled up, and the customer's home. And that's unacceptable in my book. That's not good customer service. So anyway, I came across this mobile home. The lights were on, and I heard a couple people in there laughing, chit-chatting, So I go and knock on the door, and all of a sudden, probably 90% of the time when you knock on the door or ring the doorbell, a dog barks. Not a big deal. They're doing what they're meant to do. So, knocked on the door. Wait, the dog's barking, and the guy tells the dog, shut up. And then the dog kept barking, so he blew a fuse, and he really yelled at his dog. So all of a sudden, I see this gentleman come to the door, and he looks out the door, and you can see he's mad. So the door flings open, he comes prancing down the stairs, slams the door behind him, and says, what? And I had my Amazon Flex on. I said, package delivery for you? And he says, why the F, believe it or not, didn't you just not leave it on my doorstep and walk away. You're making my dog go effing nuts. I mean, he's dropping the F-bombs on me left and right. So I hold out the package to him, and he snatches it out of my hand. And as he snatches it out of my hand, he moves closer to me. He's now within my personal space. I would say he's probably within a foot and a half of me. I can smell his breath. I can feel the spit hit my face. So he's in my pay. I'm threatened now. This guy must be 60-ish, 65. Obviously a very unhappy gentleman with himself and his life. And he's only about 5'2", 5'3" at the most. So instead of being nose to nose, it's basically my nose to his, top of his head. I'm 6'3" and 240. So you can see there's a big difference. And he's just going, they always just leave the package. No one ever knocks. I say, well, sir, it's at night, and I knock. He says, you don't need to knock. I say, well, I knock if it's before 8 o'clock because I'm doing you the courtesy of knocking that way in case, people see me delivering. It helps reduce the porch pirates, people stealing packages. I've never had this done. So since when do you guys knock? I say, since I have always knocked. He says, well, that's a bunch of BS. And this is, it's just on and on. And he snatched back, turned around. I said, well, sir, I was doing this as a courtesy. He says, yeah, what the F ever. He walks up the steps and slams the door behind him. Now, on a personal note, if I was not representing Amazon, even though I'm an independent contractor, you're still representing the company when you're out there. If I was not representing Amazon and this happened in real life, without me on the job, this guy would have been spitting out his teeth. And I'm not trying to threaten violence, but when you get someone snatches something out of your hand like that and is nose to nose with you, I felt threatened. I would have just one-shotted him and he would have been on the ground like a little baby in a ball. It was ridiculous, but I kept my composure. I was courteous. I was professional. And again, this guy was upset for whatever reason. His life sucks and he didn't want, whatever. So first thing I did, and this is what you need to do, any Amazon Flex drivers that are new or, been driving for a while, hasn't had this happen, eventually it will happen to you. First thing I did, I drove down the street a bit. Then I called Amazon driver support, and I spoke with a representative, and I told them what happened. I said, you need to flag this customer as a highly abusive customer. And she said, okay. She apologized, asked what happened. I told her basically what happened. She noted it on the account, on this customer's account, and she said it's going to be escalated to the proper department. I guess they have departments because you got abusive customers. And from my understanding, if a customer is abusive like this, Amazon can block their account from being delivered, or Amazon can force all deliveries to that address to be, mailed to a Amazon hub locker. So that's what happened. Again, you immediately want to call customer support. If it's DoorDash or it's Grubhub or any of them, you want to call and get it on record. That way, you're on record saying what happened. You're covering your own butt. You're getting on record that they're a bunch of they're a tool or whatever. And I went on my happy way. It really threw me for a loop because I'm going on my third year now doing Amazon Flex. And as I mentioned before, I delivered well over 10,000 packages. And this is the first time anybody has got this way. And it was an eye-opener. I didn't expect it, especially delivering a package that they ordered. And me, trying to be, give a great customer service by knocking on their door and handing them the package that way in case it's not stolen, in case it's stolen, I don't want my packages stolen. So if this happens to you, make sure, if it happens on Uber, Grubhub, DoorDash, make sure it goes without saying, it's obvious, but just it's a nice reminder. Make sure you call your driver support specialist if it's Grubhub, or, customer care if it's DoorDash, Amazon Flex driver support make sure you call immediately, let them know who the address is, who the person is, and what exactly happened. That way you cover yourself. So a week or two down the road, you don't get an email saying we're no longer interested in having you as a delivery partner. It's basically cover your butt. We deal with a lot of people out there, and occasionally you're going to find nut jobs. I'm not going to let this deter me. I'm still going to, as long as it's before 8 p.m. and I notice somebody's home, I'm still going to ring the doorbell or knock on a door and hand it to them personally. Yes, does it slow you down just a skosh, just a bit when you're Amazon Flex rather than hiding the package, taking a picture and going? Does it slow you down knocking on the door and waiting for them? It does a little bit, but I would rather have that than have a package stolen. And as a lot of people may not know, Amazon Flex holds drivers responsible for stolen packages. So if a package is stolen after you deliver it for Amazon Flex, you will get a nastygram lecturing you about stolen packages and how you need to be safer, believe it or not. I don't know how a stolen package is our responsibility, but be that as it may, this helps prevent stolen packages, especially as it gets closer to Christmas, because you got a lot of people, porch pirates out there going up and down the streets looking for packages. So just as another helpful, this is a tidbit of advice to take away from this. Be careful how you deal with customers. Also, when you're delivering, if you're delivering for packages, for Amazon Flex, make sure you try to hide it the best you can from street view, and knock on the door if it's before 8 p.m. and you feel safe about it. It's always better to hand the customer the package rather than leaving it, there to be stolen. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Do you think I handled it properly? Do you think I should have not knocked on the door? Has this happened to you, and how did you handle it as a Grubhub driver, as an Amazon Flex driver? Let me know in the comment section below if this has happened to you and how you handle it, or how you think I handle it. As always, please be respectful. We can agree to disagree, but if you're a tool, you're outie. As always, now for shameless plugs, please follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you appreciate videos such as this and like the channel, please give me one of these bad boys here. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. We're getting close to the 2,500 sub mark, and when I hit that 2,500 sub by the end of the year, me and my Potbelly Pig Stuart are going to be doing whipped cream shots out of the can. It's a must-see TV. As always, wow. I thank you for tuning in to this almost 13-minute pit stop. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you tuning in. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend.